What you need to know about Pi Network. Alright, let's talk about something that's been taking over comment sections and forums for years. The Pi Network. You've probably seen it mentioned. Maybe a friend even sent you an invite link. The core idea behind Pi was incredibly simple and honestly, pretty smart from a marketing perspective. It promised a cryptocurrency that anyone could mine directly from their smartphone without draining their battery or needing a supercomputer. This was a huge deal because traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin require immense amounts of electricity and expensive hardware, making it impossible for the average person to participate in mining. Pi wanted to change that game completely. The process was straightforward. You download the app, create an account, and then you just have to tap a button once every 24 hours to prove you're a real person and not a bot. That's it. For doing this simple daily task, your account would start accumulating Pi coins. The more people you invited to your security circle, the faster your mining rate would become. This created a massive viral loop, causing the network to grow to tens of millions of users, or pioneers as they call themselves, all over the world. It was a brilliant growth strategy, building a huge community before the coin even had any real-world value. The biggest question, the one that has been lingering for years, is whether any of this is actually real. For a long time, the Pi coins you mined were just numbers on a screen. They were locked inside the app's ecosystem. You couldn't send them to an external crypto exchange, Coinbase, Binance. You couldn't sell them for dollars, euros, or any other currency. This led to a lot of skepticism. Many people in the crypto space called it a worthless project, while its dedicated followers insisted that patience would eventually pay off in a massive way. They believed they were early to the next Bitcoin, accumulating digital gold for free. This entire setup created a fascinating social and economic experiment. On one hand, you had millions of people dedicating a small part of their day to this project, holding on to the hope of future wealth. On the other hand, you had a digital token with a huge potential supply but zero established market value. The entire value proposition was based on the future promise that one day, the network would launch its mainnet, and these digital points would transform into a real, tradable cryptocurrency. Everything hinged on that one critical step, and for years, everyone just had to wait and keep tapping that button. So, who were the people who came up with this whole idea? The Pi Network was founded by a team of academics from Stanford University, which immediately gave the project a layer of credibility that many other fly-by-night crypto projects lack. The most prominent figures are Dr. Nicholas Koukoulas, Dr. Chengdiao Fan. These aren't just some random developers, they have serious backgrounds in computer science and social sciences. Dr. Koukoulas holds a PhD from Stanford and has taught a class on decentralized applications, so he knows the technical side of blockchain inside and out. His expertise lent a lot of weight to the technical claims the project was making. Dr. Chengdiao Fan also has a PhD from Stanford, but her specialty is in computational anthropology and social computing. This is a key piece of the puzzle. It helps explain why the Pi Network is so focused on building a community and leveraging social networks for its growth. Now let's break down a term you hear all the time in the crypto world, mainnet. Think of it like this. For years, the Pi Network has been operating in a practice mode, or what's called a testnet. All the coins you were mining were like monopoly money. You could see them, you could count them, you could even send them to other users within the Pi browser, but they had no value outside of that closed game. The mainnet, or main network, is when the game becomes real. It's the official public fully functional version of the blockchain. It's the moment the monopoly money gets converted into real currency. When a cryptocurrency project launches its mainnet, the blockchain is live and independent. Transactions are recorded permanently on a public ledger. For Pi, this is the most critical event in its history. The mainnet launch separates a promising idea from a functioning cryptocurrency. So let's get to the headline news, the reason you're probably reading this. For years, the value of Pi has been pure speculation. You'd see wild numbers thrown around on social media. $10, $100, thousands of dollars per coin. But these were just hopes and dreams from the community. There was never anything official. However, in a recent developer conference call that took place on September 9, 2025, a recording was later shared with the community. Dr. Nicholas Koukoulas finally addressed the elephant in the room. He didn't just give a vague statement, he laid out the core team's internal valuation model. During the call, Dr. Koukoulas said the team's objective was never to let the market decide the initial price randomly. They wanted to anchor it to a stable, meaningful value to prevent the massive volatility that often kills new crypto projects. He stated, And this is the shocking part: the core team's target valuation for Open Mainnet is pegged to the Global Consensus Value, GCV. He then said their models and negotiations are built around the figure of $314,159 per Pi coin. Yes, you read that right, graphic. 1 Pi $314,159. So what is this GCV, or Global Consensus Value, that Dr. Kokalis mentioned? Well, this isn't a standard term you'll find in a traditional economics textbook. It's actually a concept that has grown organically within the Pi community and has now been officially adopted by the core team. How does a Pi coin in your app, valued at over $300,000, turn into actual money you can spend at the grocery store? According to details shared by Dr. Kokalis, this is where the partnerships with banks and financial technology companies come into play. The Pi core team has reportedly been in talks to create a system where your Pi wallet can be linked directly to special bank accounts. Flowchart: phone to bank to dollar conversion. These accounts would be designed to hold and transact in Pi just like a normal bank account holds dollars and euros. Let's walk through an example. Imagine you want to sell 0.1 Pi. With the GCV at $314,159, that would be worth $31,415.90. Let's put this into perspective with some simple math, because these numbers are so large they can be hard to grasp. The average early pioneer, someone who has been mining for several years and has built a decent-sized security circle, might have accumulated around 1,000 to 2,000 Pi coins. So, let's use a conservative example and say a dedicated pioneer has 500 transferable Pi coins in their mainnet wallet. If the GCV of $314,159 per coin holds true, the value of that wallet would be 500 multiplied by $314,159. That equals an absolutely staggering $157,079,500. It's a sum of money that is difficult to even comprehend, and it sounds completely unbelievable. However, it's crucial to apply a heavy dose of reality here. With news this big, it's extremely important to separate the established facts from the hype and speculation. Fact: Dr. Nicholas Kokalis stated in a recorded meeting on September 9, 2025, that the core team's target for Open Mainnet is a global consensus value of $314,159. This is a direct statement from the leadership, not a community rumor. It represents the core team's official strategy. Now for the unproven parts. It is not a fact that 1 Pi will be worth $314,159 on Open Mainnet launch. The founder's statement is about the core team's target value and the basis for their partnerships, not a guarantee of the market price. Once Pi is listed on external exchanges, the price will be determined by supply and demand. If a large number of pioneers try to sell their coins for dollars, and there aren't enough buyers at that high price, the price will inevitably fall. Furthermore, the core team has mentioned partnerships with banks and financial institutions, but the specific names and concrete agreement details were not public as of September 11, 2025. This is a critical missing piece of the puzzle. The entire strategy of seamless bank integration hinges on those partnerships being real and robust. So what does all of this mean for the tens of millions of people holding Pi coins on their phones? The founder's announcement has undeniably changed the game. It has transformed the Pi network from a project fueled by blind hope into one with a stated, albeit incredibly ambitious, financial target from its leadership. For those who have been patiently mining for years, this is the moment they have been waiting for. A clear signal that the core team is aiming for a valuation that would make their efforts incredibly worthwhile. The dream has been given a number. The most important thing for Pi holders to do right now is to remain calm and pragmatic. The number one priority should be to ensure your account is secure. Make sure you have passed your KYC verification. Double-check that you have safely stored your wallet passphrase. If you lose that passphrase, you lose your coins forever. Do not share your passphrase with anyone claiming they can help you sell your coins early. Scams will be rampant. Trust only official information from the Pi Network app. The next major milestone everyone is watching for is the official launch date of the Open Mainnet. The core team has stated that this will happen once two conditions are met: completion of mass KYC for the majority of the network, and the development of a mature ecosystem of apps on the Pi platform. The founder's recent announcement suggests they are getting very close to meeting these goals. Pioneers should keep an eye on the app for the official roadmap and timeline. This will be the final step that allows Pi to connect to the outside world and for its market value to be truly tested. In conclusion, the journey of the Pi network has been long and filled with skepticism, but this latest revelation from its founder has injected an unprecedented level of excitement and anticipation. While the $314,159 GCV remains a target and not a guarantee, it represents a bold vision for a new kind of digital currency, one whose value is established by its community first. For pioneers, the message is clear: secure your assets, stay informed through official channels, and prepare for what could be one of the most interesting events in the history of cryptocurrency. The waiting is almost over, and the next chapter is about to begin.